What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and in yesterday's video, I showed you a stage 99 null clear with Black Widow, and I said that I got a little something special in the next video regarding against Mephisto, and that is Tier 4 Storm. Now, this is a character that really didn't get a lot of love whenever this uniform showed up because this is a paywall uniform, which is pretty unfortunate. But for those of us that did buy the uniform, it did make Storm very, very strong and actually pretty prop friendly as well. She's actually a quite godly character. The only big problem with her, well, actually two problems, right? And everybody's complained about this before, right? Where her movement speed isn't the greatest, but I do believe Netmarble did buff it. It does seem like her movement speed's a little bit better now than what it used to be, but her survivability is definitely questionable, right? It's not that good. And to be fair, guys, against high levels of Mephisto, because of the chip damage, the fire damage that he does, you can take a tremendous amount of damage with any character. It's just with a character like Storm, they only gave her, this like a 20% HP heal, which it's not the greatest in all honesty. And then her tier 4 does give her an accumulation on her lightning damage, which is awesome, but they really should have gave her some kind of survivability tool. I mean, I wish they would have gave her something where she had some kind of shield around her, some kind of, lightning barrier. I don't know, something that would have protected her, a wind barrier around her. That would have been really cool. Kind of similar maybe to like Magneto with his magnetism ball around him. Something like that would have been cool. Maybe they'd done something like what they did with Iron Man with his shield around him. That would have been, so much better, and honestly would have made her a whole lot easier to play in these high levels of world boss. But that's not to say that Storm isn't strong. If you have this uniform, she is very, very powerful, especially tier 4. And the thing about this girl is that she is the meta in ABL. Now, that probably won't go that far with, quite a few players out there, right? Unless you're being really competitive. But in all honesty, guys, she really will make your life a lot easier in ABL versus the other characters. I mean, there's some other options that you can use, like Betsy or like, the Blast version of Jean Grey. But Storm here in tier 4 will demolish them big time, and I can't wait to slap a different obelisk on her to see what she can do then. But as far as the build on her, guys, she has 63,000 energy attack, right? She has 67,000 HP, and again, if she had had a higher HP heal, this would have been so much better for her. But her critical rate will be maxed out because I believe her force skill gives her a 30% critical rate, pretty much almost maxed out. Everything else is pretty much maxed out. She does have 42% dodge, and honestly, having more dodge is good, and the more HP you have is also very, very good. Now, this command is why she becomes really, really useful against Mephisto, because there's going to be a requirement where you're going to need that. And we'll talk about that in a second. As far as your build, guys, she doesn't have any Odin's Blessings on her whatsoever. Now, I did do some runs with a mighty energy on her, and she definitely had the damage to do what I'm going to show you guys. She definitely had the damage. It's just keeping her alive is a real nightmare, especially with toxic meteorites on the ground. It becomes pretty damn rough. There's no Odin's Blessings on her, right? All of her skills are at 6. And as far as the rotation, whenever you're playing with Storm, so you can get your tier 3 every other rotation, because her tier 3 really is where her damage is at. You literally want to go 3, 5, 2, 4, right? You want to cancel that 2 immediately, right? And then you're going to go 3, 5, 2, 4, tier 3. And you're going to use your tier 4 at the same time. And she will plow, guys. She will do a tremendous amount of damage. Obviously, if you have a Mighty on her, Mighty Energy, Mighty Destruction, you're going to have to run around, build up that meter, so that way you get the proc on those obelisks. But she is really simple to play, in all honesty, in this uniform. She does have a fully awakened Power Bang Hulk set, and she doesn't have her artifact. Right now, I am running the Brilliant. And like I said earlier, guys, the Mighty Energy on her, I was running a Mighty Energy on her with a 200% damage proc. And she definitely had the damage, guys. She was breaking Mephisto's first phase pretty quickly. It's just that keeping her alive was kind of rough. So whenever I slapped a Brilliant on her, in all honesty, it just made my life a whole lot easier. I could definitely do this without a Brilliant, but the faster I finish the fight, the easier it is to keep her alive. So that's pretty much why I'm going with the Brilliant. But guys, when you see the time frame that she does this clear, you'll see that she can definitely do this with a Mighty Energy, a Mighty Destruction. I guarantee you, no problem. And I got a legendary uniform. This thing isn't even maxed out. And for her uniform, I actually have HP on these 2 slots. The more HP, the merrier. And also, if you have like where these Dodgeroos are at, I mean, honestly, having HP would probably be better because she's just got a 20% HP heal. And the more native HP that you have on the character, the more that heal is going to actually heal you for. That is going to make a big difference. Now, the run that you guys are going to watch, unfortunately, I had the sound muted when I was recording it, and I really didn't want to do it again, to be perfectly honest. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that run against stage 89 Mephisto. That's right, stage 89, because at stage 89, you need command, right? You need commandment. I mean, this is way up there, right? You need this command, right? And the only other character in here that can do this is Captain America. But like I said earlier, guys, like Storm, I can use her in ABL. I actually get more use out of her. All the investment that I'm putting into the character, I get to use her in multiple game modes, and she actually becomes somewhat useful. Granted, in ABL, it's only once every couple weeks, but still, it's something, right? And it's still going to be a really good GBR clear as well. But Captain America just really doesn't serve a big purpose, at least against Null and Mephisto. You really don't need him up until this point, although he is a great world boss legend killer. He plays really good. Well, he plays fairly well with a proc, so I mean, yeah, he can definitely get it done, even though he does have a disadvantage. But I wanted to get more bang for my buck, at least at this stage in the game, because by the time, I can use Captain America and maybe other world bosses where he would actually be more relevant, maybe there would be another character that would be even more powerful by that time. So I'm just like I said in yesterday's video, guys, I'm just pushing these world bosses in the order that they came into the game. First it's Null, now it's Mephisto, and once I finish Mephisto, then I'm going to Ultron, and so on, and just keep pushing these levels till I can actually max them out. And a little tidbit, guys, if you are playing a stage, using Odin is godly, because Odin removes all debuffs and increases all resistances. This really helps against all these attacks, all these environmental attacks that are going to come at you big time, man. It really helps your survivability tremendously. That all resistance by 30% is very nice in all debuff. And you'll see how much damage she takes, guys. Like, she doesn't go into iframes when she's doing her skills, her 4 and her tier 3, and she can take a tremendous amount of damage. But having this debuff and having this all resistance is nice. And then having the new uniform Cyclops that gives the extra 40% energy attack, and then I do have a CTP of Insight on him as well, really helps. And then one of my strikers actually decreases damage received, also to help with Storm's survivability. But I'm really happy with her, guys, at tier 4. I delayed it and I put it off and put it off and put it off. And it's really kind of a shame that, I did that. And I know a lot of other players are doing that as well, because, Storm is one of my favorite characters in Marvel. Like, I love Storm. I think she's fantastic. Like, this is a character, like, back in the X-Men days, I would always look forward to watching. I just loved her so much, man. So let me know what you think about Storm doing stage 89 Mephisto, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GW7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.